Let's welcome in Rich Lerner, who has been already on site out in Los Angeles as part of our golf's longest day coverage yesterday, spilling over into Tuesday. We're going to put that on the back burner, Rich. Your reaction to the news of the joint merger between the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and LIV Golf Tour.
George, absolutely shocked like everyone. I think it's one of the biggest stories in the history of the sport. That's probably an understatement. I think the Saudis won. I think they leveraged the great play by Phil Mickelson at the Masters and Koepka, and then Koepka's win at Oak Hill. They leveraged it, and here they are. They have a seat at the table, and that's long what they've wanted. I always felt this was sort of about deal flow and getting that seat at the table. And it didn't look as though that was going to happen a year ago, but money talks. And I think how this will land within the game, the players, I think, will probably love it, because my experience has been that these are professionals. They want to get paid. They don't necessarily care where the money is coming from, and the money's going to flow. So it's a win for the players, and I think it has been, because even when they were on opposite sides, LIV and the PGA Tour, their presence drove up the purses on the PGA Tour. This one caught everybody by surprise. I spoke to one of the high-level agents for one of the LIV superstars. He said his head is spinning. He did not see this coming. His client didn't see it coming. No one did. They're all huddling now. There are tons of questions, as you guys know. What will the reaction be from those who did not go to LIV, who may have been offered? What will their reaction be if the likes of Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson are allowed back without some sort of a clawback or some sort of a fine? Who knows how that's going to work? What about their presence at the Ryder Cup? That's a question. Then I think one of the really big questions, and it was not addressed in the CNBC interview, is what will the Saudis do, and now what will Jay say to allay the concerns of those who have had an issue with the Saudis on the human rights front? How will they make people comfortable with this enterprise going forward?
Rich, you call it a win for the players. Is it a win for the game?
Depends on where you land. I think in some quarters it'll be read as the PGA Tour capitulating, jumping into bed with an uncomfortable partner here, taking the money. That's not me talking here. That's, I think, how it will be read in some quarters. So from that standpoint, I'm not sure it will be viewed. There are always critics. Now, I'm not sure that's how it will be viewed as a win for golf. It may be viewed through a critical eye as golf taking the money, again, and a lot of money. But I think as time goes on, I think in all likelihood it'll die down, and the sport will thrive financially, and people will quickly forget, and likely long term there'll be happy times. But some, I think, will be obviously turned off by this partnership.
Rich, what do you think today will be like? And let's use Rory McIlroy as an illustrative example of the players who were speaking on behalf of the PGA Tour, had to wear this dress week in and week out with the constant questions about the PGA Tour and LIV.
Look, it's a relief. And so they don't have to answer the questions. They're going to answer quite a few next week, and I think it's unfortunate for the U.S. Open that at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when the stars arrive here, that's likely going to be a dominant conversation in all the interviews. I know we have Canada this week, and a lot will be revealed over the next 4 or 5 days at the RBC in Canada, but it'll continue on the bigger stage at the U.S. Open, and it seems like we can't go to a major championship without the first 3 days in the run-up to the first round being dominated by this issue or something tangentially related to it. But again, I think from a player's point of view, you have relieved this burden. They don't have to. I'm 3 months down the road, they won't have to answer this question too much more. The money begins to flow. That's an enormous win for the players. And look, again, they were caught off guard by this. The agent said to me, this came on suddenly, and the PGA Tour, in his 30 years of experience, the tour never does anything suddenly. So all of this done secretively, it feels like sort of, the resolution on the courtroom steps where you'd like to know, and I'm sure there'll be some reporting in the coming days, how this did in fact all come together.